When a television host became the wife of the world's richest man, the world saw not just love, but a real metamorphosis. What's behind this transformation, and why did it cost almost $500,000? Lauren Sanchez isn't just Jeff Bezos' wife. She's an outstanding figure in the entertainment industry, an experienced television host and helicopter pilot. But the biggest discussion around her isn't about her professional achievements, but about the evolution of her appearance over the past 2 decades. Her transformation has become the subject of intense media and public attention, especially after she became part of the Amazon founder's life. Analyzing photos from different periods of her life, plastic surgery experts have identified signs of numerous procedures, with a total cost that could reach $390,000. This isn't just a number, it's the price of perfection that the rich and famous pay for the right to look flawless at any age. In her younger years, Lauren showed what plastic surgeons call a perfect foundation. Natural beauty that could only be enhanced, not dramatically changed. She had incredible hair density both on her scalp and eyebrows, which is a rare genetic advantage. Her eyebrows had natural fullness under the arch, creating a youthful and fresh look. Her facial structure was already impressive then, a strong middle and lower face with a well-defined jawline. However, even then, experts noticed potential signs of early intervention. Comparing her earliest photos with later ones, you can see that the shape of her nose underwent subtle but noticeable changes. Initially, she had a fuller nose tip with a wider bridge. Later, the nose became more refined, narrower along the bridge and with a smaller tip. This could indicate rhinoplasty done at an early age. Interestingly, women's noses mature earlier than men's, and some get rhinoplasty as early as 14 to 15 years old. However, here lies the first danger of early intervention. Many patients who had nose surgery in their teens later regret their decision. They realize that if they had waited for full facial maturation, they might not have needed surgical intervention at all. This reminds us of the importance of a thoughtful approach to cosmetic surgery, especially at a young age. By 2002, when Lauren turned 33, it became obvious that she had begun serious work on her appearance. At this age, she already showed signs of using neurotoxin Botox in the forehead area, glabella, and around the eyes to reduce crow's feet. An interesting detail was her hairline. Lauren developed a clearly defined widow's peak in the center of her hairline, and the left side of her hairline began receding more than the right. This created natural asymmetry, which she skillfully concealed with her hairstyle. Facial asymmetry is absolutely normal, we all have it. But professionals always pay attention to such details. The most noticeable changes were the eyebrows and cheeks. The eyebrows looked significantly more raised than in previous years, and this was more than Botox alone could achieve. This suggests a possible brow lift procedure, a surgical intervention that raises the eyebrows and creates a more youthful appearance. The cheeks also underwent transformation. Comparing with her original facial bone structure, it became noticeable that the lateral parts of the cheeks became more prominent. Although she always had some natural cheek fullness, the emphasis on the upper lateral part appeared precisely during this period. This could have been the result of cheek implant installation. The lips also began to change. Lateral fullness of the lips appeared, especially noticeable at the edges. This could have been the result of using hyaluronic acid-based fillers or even silicone injections. At that time, silicone microdrops were often used to create long-lasting lip enhancement effects. Characteristically, the central part of the upper lip remained thinner than the edges, creating a specific silhouette. In 2003, at age 34, a new detail appeared when smiling, gums became visible. This is an important detail for planning future procedures because if a patient considers a lip lift, gum showing will only intensify. Experienced surgeons always warn patients about this effect. 2004 brought even more dramatic changes. The jaw became noticeably wider in the angle areas, the gonial angles. This could have been the result of jaw implant installation, giving the face a more boxy but balanced look. The new jaw width harmoniously combined with the previously enlarged cheeks, creating a more dramatic and defined facial contour. The lateral fullness of the lips became even more pronounced, and asymmetrically the right side became fuller than the left. This is typical for lip enhancement procedures, as even the most experienced specialists can't always achieve perfect symmetry. Overall, during this period, Lauren transitioned from subtle adjustments to more noticeable changes. Her face acquired a more sculpted, defined appearance. The natural softness of youth gave way to a clearer, almost architectural beauty. The period from 2005 to 2009 was relatively calm. No significant changes were observed. This could indicate that Lauren was satisfied with the achieved results and allowed her face to settle after previous interventions. However, 2010 brought new changes. At 41, she developed showing of upper teeth, even at rest when lips are simply parted. The upper, central and lateral incisors became visible. This could have been the result of natural changes or additional lip procedures. The most noticeable change was the indentation in the area under the medial cheekbones. This zone became more sunken, which is characteristic of buccal fat removal procedures. Buccal fat is a fat pad located in the cheek, the removal of which creates a more defined facial contour and emphasizes the cheekbones. Although buccal fat removal became especially popular in 2022 to 2023, this procedure existed long before. In 2010, there were already specialists who offered this service to create a more sculpted facial appearance. An alternative explanation for these changes could be natural weight loss. But the nature of the indentation, specifically in the buccal fat zone, makes surgical intervention a more likely explanation. 2011 became a turning point in forming that specific lip appearance that became Lauren's calling card. At 42, she developed a central gap in the upper lip, an effect where the lateral parts of the lip touch the lower lip first, leaving the central part thinner. This allows the central teeth to show more. This effect has two sides. Some people find it extremely attractive and sensual. It really can add special expressiveness and sexuality to the face. However, others seek to correct this effect because it can seem artificial. For correction, there are several options. Dissolving filler in the lateral parts of the lip or surgical lip reduction, a procedure where excess tissue is removed from the lateral parts. The period from 2012 to 2014 was stable without noticeable changes, allowing all previous procedures to finally settle and create a harmonious appearance. In 2016, at 47, what was most impressive was Lauren's skin quality. She had a flawless skin appearance that she had maintained from an early age. This is the result not only of genetics but also professional care, high-quality procedures and products. The period from 2017 to 2020 was again relatively calm. But 2021, when Lauren turned 52, brought the most dramatic changes in the entire observation period. The cheeks became even more prominent, indicating possible cheek implant revision. This is a complex procedure where existing implants are removed through incisions inside the mouth and replaced with larger ones or different shapes. Such revision is often necessary due to age-related facial changes. When tissues begin to sag, a larger or differently positioned implant may be needed to maintain the desired contour. Most impressive was the jawline. It looked extremely tight for a 52-year-old woman. At this age, some tissue weakness is usually noticeable, but Lauren's jawline was perfectly sharp. This indicates a facelift procedure, a comprehensive operation that lifts and tightens the skin of the lower and middle face. Especially noticeable were changes in the area in front of the earlobe, the classic place where surgeons make incisions for facelifts. Although the work was done masterfully and almost imperceptibly, an experienced eye can detect signs of skin transposition. The eyebrows also became more raised, indicating a simultaneous brow lift. This is logical, since a facelift usually only affects the lower and middle parts of the face. To lift the upper part, including the eyebrows, a separate procedure is needed. The heaviness in the upper eyelid area decreased, which may indicate upper blepharoplasty, an operation to remove excess eyelid skin. When planning such procedures, the brow lift is always done first to determine how much skin really needs to be removed from the eyelids. In 2022, at 53, signs of additional lip filler appeared on top of existing modifications. This created some asymmetry. The right side of the upper lip became higher than the left. This effect is typical for hyaluronic acid-based fillers, which tend to migrate even with the most experienced practitioners. Sometimes, filler can spread beyond the natural lip line, creating an impression of unnaturalness. This reminds us that even the most modern procedures have their limitations and risks. The period from 2023 to 2024 was stable, allowing all procedures to finally integrate and create the final appearance. To understand Lauren's transformation, key procedures and their impact are worth examining. Early rhinoplasty. Lauren's early rhinoplasty shows surgical precision, with subtle changes only noticeable through detailed photo comparison. It likely involved reducing the nose tip and narrowing the bridge, harmonizing facial features. This complex procedure requires precise anatomical knowledge to ensure lasting aesthetic results as the face ages. Cheek implants and revision. Lauren's cheek implants, likely installed in 2002, were revised in 2021 to adapt to age-related changes. Made from medical-grade silicone, they accentuate the upper lateral cheek for a high cheekbone effect. The procedure uses intraoral incisions for invisible scars, with recovery taking 2 to 3 weeks. Facelift. The facelift Lauren likely underwent in 2021 lifts skin and deeper tissues for natural, long-lasting results. Incisions along ear and hair folds are nearly invisible. Recovery takes 3 to 6 months, with strict limitations, yielding Lauren's notably natural outcome. Lauren's transformation included regular cosmetic procedures crucial for maintaining a youthful appearance. Neurotoxin use. Lauren's use of Botox began at 33, reflecting a preventive approach to aging popular among celebrities. Regular injections reduce wrinkles and create subtle lifting effects, like slightly raised eyebrows or a natural smile. Over 20 years, she likely spent $50,000 to $80,000 on Botox, an investment in her career and status. Lip evolution. Lauren's lips show a balance of natural aging and artificial enhancement. Fillers, likely silicone early on and hyaluronic acid later, restored volume and created a sensual central gap effect. This requires skilled injection techniques for a natural yet striking look. Professional skin care. Lauren's flawless skin at 55 stems from genetics and professional care. Regular chemical peels, laser therapy, and microneedling maintain ideal texture, costing thousands per session. Over 20 years, this likely cost $100,000, enhanced by premium home care products like retinoids and vitamin C. Radical appearance changes always have deep psychological consequences, especially when they occur over an extended period. For Lauren, each procedure was probably a step toward greater self-confidence. Gradual transformation allowed her to adapt to a new image and integrate changes into her identity. This contrasts with radical changes that can cause psychological discomfort. Interestingly, the most dramatic changes occurred in 2021, when Lauren was 52 years old and her relationship with Jeff Bezos became public. This may indicate a desire to match her new social status and public expectations. As the wife of one of the world's richest people, Lauren is under constant media and public attention. Every appearance of hers is photographed and analyzed. In such a situation, maintaining flawless appearance becomes not just a personal choice, but a professional necessity. This pressure is especially strong for women over 50, who in our society often become invisible. Lauren demonstrates by her example that age is not an obstacle to beauty and attractiveness, but the price of this demonstration is measured not only in money, but also in time, effort, and potential risks. No cosmetic procedure is absolutely safe, and Lauren's transformation, despite visible success, could not have been without risks. Each of the surgical procedures Lauren underwent carries the risk of complications, infections, bleeding, healing problems, asymmetries, and unsatisfactory aesthetic results. Implants can shift, deform, or cause allergic reactions. Revision surgeries, such as cheek implant replacement, are especially risky. Each subsequent surgery increases the risk of complications due to scar tissue and anatomical changes. Some procedures can have unpredictable long-term consequences. For example, silicone injections in lips can migrate over time or cause inflammatory reactions. Buccal fat removal can lead to premature facial aging in later life. There's a risk of developing so-called plastic surgery addiction, a condition where a person constantly seeks new flaws to correct. Lauren's gradual transformation over 20-plus years may indicate such a tendency, although in her case, the result looks harmonious. From an economic point of view, Lauren's spending on appearance can be viewed as an investment that brought significant returns. Improved appearance allowed Lauren to maintain a career in the media industry much longer than would have been possible naturally. At age 55, she still looks young and attractive, which in the youth-oriented entertainment industry is a huge advantage. Additionally, her marriage to Jeff Bezos is undoubtedly connected to her attractiveness and charisma, which are partly the result of cosmetic procedures. Although love cannot be bought, attractiveness undoubtedly plays a role in forming romantic relationships. As a billionaire's wife, Lauren has access to unlimited resources and opportunities. Her social status opens doors that would be closed to an ordinary 55-year-old woman. This includes business opportunities, charitable projects, and cultural influence. However, the social cost of such transformation should also be considered. Lauren has become a symbol of unattainable beauty standards that create unrealistic expectations for ordinary women. Her example may encourage others to dangerous or financially destructive attempts at imitation. At age 55, Lauren Sanchez is at an interesting stage of her life. Most radical procedures have already been performed, and now it's about maintaining the achieved result. In the coming years, Lauren will probably continue regular Botox and filler injections, skin procedures, and possibly minor corrections. The cost of such maintenance could be $50,000 to $100,000 per year. The cosmetic industry is rapidly developing, and new technologies are appearing that might interest Lauren. These could be new types of fillers, laser procedures, regenerative medicine, or even gene therapy. Despite all efforts, natural aging continues. In the coming years, Lauren may face new challenges: hormonal changes, loss of skin elasticity, changes in body contours. This may require new procedures or correction of existing results. The total estimated cost of all possible procedures Lauren underwent over more than 2 decades is $390,000. This sum includes rhinoplasty, $8,000 to $12,000, cheek implants and revision, $15,000 to $25,000, brow lift, $8,000 to $15,000, buccal fat removal, $5,000 to $8,000, jaw implants, $15,000 to $20,000, facelift, $25,000 to $40,000, upper blepharoplasty, $5,000 to $8,000, regular Botox injections, $50,000 to $80,000, lip fillers, $30,000 to $50,000, professional skin care, $20,000 to $40,000. The success of Lauren's transformation lies in the gradual approach. Instead of radical changes, she chose evolution, which allowed achieving a natural result. All procedures were performed in the best clinics by the most qualified specialists, emphasizing the importance of investing in quality. Lauren's transformation occurred parallel to her rise in the social hierarchy, from regional television host to wife of one of the world's most influential people. This case illustrates the complex relationship between appearance and social status in modern society. $390,000 isn't just a number. It's the price of self-confidence, meeting society's expectations, the right to be next to the most successful people on the planet. It's an investment in the future that paid off 100-fold, because now Lauren is not just a former television host, but one of the world's most influential women. Her transformation is a masterclass in how to combine natural beauty with modern plastic surgery possibilities. Each procedure was carefully planned and executed at the highest level, creating an image that looks natural despite the scale of interventions. The secret of Lauren Sanchez's transformation has been revealed. It's a combination of natural gifts, financial possibilities, the best specialists, and an unbreakable will for perfection. The result, worth $390,000, speaks for itself, but the real price includes much more: time, effort, risks, and social pressure.